All right. Welcome back. Ali Midawi in here. And I thought today in our coaching session, part of this episode, I wanted to talk to you about the different phases from starting a connection all the way to doing business. And the reason this is an important piece specifically is many of us make a huge mistake, and I sure as heck make those mistakes as well, where we get excited about having a potential human being that wants to talk to us. And we go from, hi, nice to meet you. Here's my website. You should look at my products. And listen, I get it. We all get excited and we all want to get a sale. But the challenge here, the issue that you need to understand is that whether it is sales or relationships or anything at all, there are phases. You don't just meet a woman and say, will you marry me the very first second that you see her, right? Now, I'm a little weird. I've done that with my wife. I actually asked her to marry me when we were in high school the day I met her. It was a joke. I was being a class clown, but hey, it worked out. So some of us, it actually worked out for. I'm a closer. What can I say? But when it comes to business, you got to understand that it is required and necessary for you and I to respect the time in of the individual, not just the time. Because sometimes you're going to see somebody who has the time, right? Like, oh, dude, you got the time. You work from home, or I see you always talk to so many people. You're always networking. Now, it looks like that is a perfect candidate, but the time in may not be right in their lives as much as in your case. You may be in business right now, but at one point you did not have the right time in your life to start a business. So let's talk about the very first phase of that business cycle. So the very first phase is connection. Don't mind my handwriting for those of you who are watching the video form. So, connection itself simply means a point of contact, whether phone call, email, messenger, my favorite, DM on Instagram, or any form of communication. In other words, so if you have a dialogue that just got started, you now have achieved the connection. Now, what does that mean? So let's say, and this is a strategy, by the way, that needs to be genuine, that needs to be real and authentic. If you do what I'm telling you right now as a fast, speedy way to just get people talking to you, their spidey senses are going to kick in and you are going to butcher it. So if you're not genuine, real, and honest and authentic about what I'm going to share with you, it's irrelevant. Got a deal? Are we in agreement? All right, cool. So connection. So what I do is every single day I aim to put a whole lot of content, right? My team and I pump content everywhere. Anytime there's a like, a comment, or a share, we send out a message to that individual. And it could be simple as, hey, John Doe, I just want to say thank you so much for showing me love on my last post. Or, hey, Jane Doe, I appreciate you stopping by my page. Thank you so much for the engagement. It really means the world. That is it, a sense of gratitude, just a little thank you. Why is that relevant? Because John or Jane Doe are going to reply with, you're welcome, or we like it, or it was fun, or it was awesome, whatever the response that we're going to get. That counts as a connection. Now you have dialogue. That's where you go into phase two. Now you may say, well, Ali, what is phase two? Phase two is what we call discovery. Now, what you got to understand, discovery is to identify if that person that I'm talking to is in the right time in, or they have the right qualifications to go in business with me. What do I mean? See, there are some people that I talk to that I never prospect in a million years. It's not because I don't want to do business with people, but it's because I realize that person is not somebody that I would allow around my kids or allow around my wife or around my business community. So why would I even bother talking to them about business? Yes, I will talk to them and continue to be friends with them, but I just won't prospect them right away. So how do we go in discovery? Something as simple. Hey, by the way, what do you do? See, that's honest, right? Genuine. Or, hey, I noticed you're posting about homes. Are you in real estate? Or how do you make out post COVID? Or how you doing with all this crazy gas prices and bad economy? Or you can go on and on and on and on and on. Initially, we're just trying to learn a little bit more about that person. What do you do? How long you been doing it? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Hey, I see that you travel. Was that vacation or pleasure? Just a dialogue of a back and forth where you are simply building a sense of of relatability, where you are creating not only, and by the way, this is not for small talk. This is to truly know who I'm dealing with. Because sometimes I will ask somebody, so what do you do? And they say things like, balling out, baby, just making a whole lot of money, and staying out of the job, staying out of the just over broke. And I'm like, man, you're insulting people, you're braggadocious. I don't think you're the right candidate for you and I to talk about business. And that's why I'm like, man, that's awesome, dude, keep on rocking it. And I keep on keeping on just as a friend until I see a little bit of a change, or that individual says, how about you? And I might say something like, well, I help struggling entrepreneurs to leverage social media and a digital space to create brand equity and revenue. And I also help them on how they present themselves as professionals. Wink, wink, hint, hint. You need a little bit of help, right? And then it can develop into the next phase. So if you don't do discovery and you go right into prospecting, then you got an issue. So the next phase is prospecting. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Prospecting. Prospecting is the actual act of opening the conversation about your business or your product or your service or whatever it is that you are offering, with the hope of trading money for that service or the deliverables, right? So, prospecting is when I say something like, man, that's awesome. I actually know a whole lot of people in your space that I'm working with right now, that I'm helping make money from their computer or their cell phones right now, that I'm helping scale their business right now. I bring every single ounce of that conversation in the discovery phase, and I relate it to, I help you through other individuals. I was made to be here with you. I was created for this moment, right? So we talk about, if somebody goes like, like just grinding it out, man, 80 hours a week. Dude, I totally relate. As a matter of fact, I've helped so many people actually get out of their 80 hours a week from their cell phones. Now, if that person says, how? Now you got the next phase. If that person says, man, that's awesome, I would love to do that. Any sound of positivity towards what you are offering or what you are talking about, that's when you carry the conversation. Now, that doesn't mean you say, here's my website. Nope. There's a little bit of more work. I personally usually prefer to give the individual three different elements when it comes to prospecting. I would say something like, so there are multiple ways that I can give you some exposure. The very first one is simply this: I can give you access to a private Facebook community where there are many people just like yourself who are sharing their experiences, who are learning exactly about how to get out of their 80 hours. Again, whatever the nature of that conversation is. At the same exact time, I can also give you access to a pre-recorded video, webinar, Zoom, seminar, funnel, whatever it may be, that has that condensed information, and you can watch it on your own leisure. And we can, of course, chat afterwards. Or if you'd like, I can set up a private conversation with my business partner, with my sponsor, with my support team, with my CEO, with whomever the individual that you are working with. So you can take the workload off of you and use a third party that is attractive, right? So I would say, like, hey, well, we can set up a private conversation with my business partner just to give you some insights and, of course, focus on what is important to you. And it's private, so therefore it'll be an intimate setting. You can ask any private conversations that may be relevant for you. And then I'll ask, what works best for you? We call that small, medium, or large. When you go to any fast food place, they don't ask you, do you want to add fries to that? They just say small, medium, or large. They assume you want the meal, and they automatically get you to say, I'll make that a large, please, or a medium, or whatever it is. But they automatically upsold the French fries and soda. Same exact thing here. If you give people options, they will always pick one. But if you just try to push a final transaction too early, you're going to struggle. So, prospecting obviously is having that conversation once they expose that they are interested and there are the individuals through discovery. Discovery only happens through connection. Now, after prospecting, we go to presenting. Present. Now, you don't have to present. I already gave them three different options, right? You just have to be disciplined to let the information do what it's supposed to do and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If they say, I'd rather talk to you personally, great. Let me get my business partner, just because I focus on some areas of my expertise, they focus on others, such as I look for talent like yourself to collaborate and work with. They are experts at presenting the information the proper way. See how I took the workload off of me and I put it on somebody else and guaranteed an appointment, because I never want to put myself in a situation that I'm going to have a challenging conversation. Sell me your stuff and I'll sell you my stuff. I don't want to do that. If we're meeting is because there's an agenda, and a mutual agenda that makes you interested in what I have and I interested in delivering what I have. If there's the sell me, sell you, well, that's called a networking session, and I'm okay with that, but that's not what I'm going to spend my priority and time on right now. So presenting is simply to present the information through another individual, another tool, another means outside than your body and yourself. And if they insist on you, bring backup, bring SWAT, bring somebody else who's going to help you out. After presenting, then there will be follow up. Why is that? See, the average prospect needs 7 to 12 exposures in order to make an educated decision, including me, including you. Why do you think Geico commercials are on every channel every 5 minutes all the time? Is it because they just like to spend money? No, that's because they know for a fact, from a psychology standpoint, we need to be in front of this guy at least 7 to 15 times for him to make a decision on us. And that goes for every single commercial, for every single company, every successful campaign. Why do you think you see our videos every single day on your stories with the website promoting everything that we do? Because we are hoping that the timing is right. And when you see it 7 to 12 different times, you're going to end up coming into our websites. You're going to end up seeing some of the tools and services that we will provide for you. So, follow up is key. Now, remember, there's time and there's time in. They may have the time to meet with you on a follow up, but the timing may be off. Don't ever take it personal. Just keep the conversation going, stay a friend. And hey, would you mind if I check in with you every 90 days just to keep you updated? I just had that happen. I'm excited. I got a new colleague. We've worked together in the past from 2019 to 2020. Dr. Stan Harris, Dr. Breakthrough. It's breakthrough time, right? He's amazing at everything that he does. I spoke to him about a project with the Great Discovery that we've been working on since March, actually since November last year, but we've pre-launched in March. And when we talked at the end of March, the time in wasn't right. He told me straight up, hey man, I'm focusing on launching my own academy. I got a new book. The timing isn't right, and it just doesn't look like this is gonna be serving what I'm focused on right now. I said, Doc, would you mind if I keep checking with you every 90 days? Guess what? We just were in Florida together with our co-CEOs this weekend, rather week, and we had a blast. And here we are. We are in business together because now the timing is better. So follow up is key. If you're not following up, with all the respect, you're not building a business. You just enjoy networking and talking to people as friends, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. Last but not least, after the follow up, the sale. Now, if you're scared to say, hey, are you ready to get started? Or I think the timing is right. I think we should collaborate. I think we can kill it doing this thing together. With all the respect, you need to speak to a mentor or somebody from your success line or whomever you're working with and ask them straight up, hey, I'm terrified to ask people for a sale. And that's because there are people who are really good at marketing. There are people who are really good at sales. There are a very select few who are good at both. You just have to know where your gift is. Focus on that while you are growing into other gifts that you are going to potentially have. The sale is the final transaction. But if you don't respect all the phases that I just shared with you, with all the respect, there's a reason you're not successful. That's because you don't honor the phases of the individual that is talking to you. And you go from, hi, my name is Ali. Will you marry me? And that's why people either ignore your message, don't show up for your Zooms, or just flat out say, no, thank you, not interested. So it's very, very important for you to do so. If you need any help, by the way, with anything that I just shared with you right now, we're willing to give you 3 days on our complimentary access to our ME Academy. That everything that I just did with you right now, through 79 different videos, through 9 different modules, through multiple elements that you can learn on demand. And there's a quiz that you take. You can get qualified as a coach once you go through all the academy. And of course, we can do even some business together, and you can get paid to coach others should you want to do so. We have a lot to offer still. I am so excited because I got a very special interview with my ultimate favorite human being in the world. I said it, and I cannot wait for you to hear from him. Hint, hint, he's only 6. We'll be right back. Introducing our exclusive PR services for businesses, a chance to supercharge your visibility and credibility in the market. In a crowded marketplace, it is essential for businesses to stand out from the competition. Ali Madawi here and Madawi Enterprise. We understand the power of effective PR and the ability to elevate your brand visibility and credibility. See, we can help you navigate all of those complex PR landscapes, and the results will be strong, credible, and in 200 plus media outlets like NBC, CBS, Fox, and all of their subsidiaries. Our team of experienced PR professionals will work with you to craft compelling stories and connect you with influential media outlets, guaranteed. Now, don't miss this opportunity to amplify your brand's reach and establish yourself as a trusted industry leader. Visit our website today at winwithali.com and let's get you started today. Madawi Enterprise and your strategic partner for an unparalleled visibility and wavering credibility.